Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what do, how we live. And we live in an NFL world where there are a lot of high profile wide receivers that put up well over 1,000 yards and are pretty much household names for those that are even casual NFL fans. But there are some excellent wide receiver duos, teams that have a a solid wide receiver one and wide receiver two. And one team that has been looking for that wide receiver two since really trading Amari Cooper is the Dallas Cowboys. They tried to fill it with Brandon Cooks. Didn't necessarily work out. Michael Gallup had one very strong season, but eventually even retired, although came out of retirement. But of course, today it was announced that the Cowboys acquired in a trade George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a third-round pick. The Cowboys are also receiving a 2026 sixth-round pick. The Steelers will get a 2027 fifth-round pick from Dallas. In the deal, George Pickens has had some strong years with Pittsburgh, although has been an outspoken guy, maybe not a guy that Mike Tomlin's super fond of. He's commented on him, maybe why he was on the trade block. But, of course, he won't be the biggest star-studded wide receiver on the Cowboys. They already have CeeDee Lamb. But that got me to thinking, where would Dallas rank right now? Where would you put them as the best wide receiver in the best wide receiver duos in the NFL? I went through and decided on the ones I would definitely pick. Some I would highly consider as well, and some that potentially could also as well be ahead of Dallas, but the ones that I thought were definitely were, let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals duo of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Many people didn't expect T. Higgins to remain with the Bengals, but lo and behold, they still have both in tow. They're kind of seen by many as the best duo in the league, so they're definitely going to be ahead of Dallas's duo of Lamb and Pickens. We got the Los Angeles Rams, so I don't have a picture of both of them because Puka Nacua has been with the team. Of course, had that out of nowhere marvelous rookie season, kept it up last year, and now he is paired up with Davante Adams. Maybe not the Davante Adams in his prime with the Green Bay Packers, but still a guy you could count on for over 1,000 yards, numerous touchdowns. So I do have the Rams over them as well. Also have this combo over them, talking Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Addison, a guy who has scored a bunch of touchdowns, hasn't gone over 1,000 yards yet in his 2 years, but when you pair him with Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in the game, I gotta put them over. Eagles, of course, just won the Super Bowl. We got Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. Devonta Smith is going to get that high reception number. A.J. Brown, big touchdown guy. Maybe a little bit more of a vertical threat than Devonta Smith, but just an excellent pairing. And then I got to include this duo over them as well. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, of course, out of the five, they've been together the longest. I know Godwin has had his injury issues, but when he left, his season ended prematurely last year. He was leading the league in receptions at the time. Mike Evans, of course, 1,000 yards every single season in his career. Surefire Hall of Famer to me. There's really no doubt about it. So those five, I think, are definitely better. Two I'd also put over, but maybe are a little more debatable. The Miami Dolphins duo of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Was a down 2024 for both wide receivers after Tyreek Hill had a absolutely marvelous 2023 with Miami. Of course, there's been speculation that he could be traded. At first stated that he wanted to be, kind of rescinded that. Expecting a little bit more of a bounce back. And another duo I would put over them is Amon St. Brown of the Detroit Lions, along with Jameson Williams, who of course is more of the deep threat, but Amon-Ra, 3 straight seasons with over 100 receptions, double-digit touchdowns each of his last 2. Jameson Williams hadn't necessarily done much his first couple years in the league, but last year also went over 1,000 yards. Not on a huge volume of receptions, but again, that vertical threat. Threat to score pretty much anytime the Lions are in the red zone. So, I think there's 5 definites, and to me at least, I should say, 5 definites, and 2 that I would also include over Dallas's duo, although they are still a very good one in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. 3 that I think might have the potential, but I didn't include. So Seattle lost their top 2 wide receivers for many years. Tyler Lockett now with the Titans, and DK Metcalf was traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they have Jackson Smith and Jigba, and of course got Cooper Kupp, but can he stay healthy? Maybe if he did, they could be a team that would be above Dallas. Washington, I loved Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin is, a marvelous wide receiver. Finally, as a quarterback, better than I had a quick quarterback in Jaden Daniels. And Deebo Samuel just hasn't quite had a duplicate season to his first team All-Pro year a few years back. But, if we could see that, maybe. And then team like Jacksonville, Brian Thomas Jr. really was the best rookie wide receiver, probably even over Malik Neighbors, Marvin Harrison, guys like that. And, Travis Hunter, we haven't seen him play at the NFL level yet. We don't know how many defensive snaps he'll get. But I guess the potential's there for them to be amongst the best. But let me know in the comments, where would you rank the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver duo of CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? Pickens, not exactly a guy who's had high touchdown numbers, but Dak Prescott will definitely be the most talented quarterback he's played for thus far in his career. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.